Godzilla is back, and I'm not just talking about some Hollywood blockbuster. It's coming from the original Japanese film studio that made the original back in 1954. Even though Toho's trailer for Godzilla Minus One is pretty brief, it raises more questions than answers. There's been a lot of talk about this movie online, but I'd like to clarify some points and add to what's already been said to set the tone for what we can expect in November and December. First and foremost, Forbes had to retract a statement about the movie's continuity with Shin Godzilla. Initially, they mentioned that Godzilla Minus One would share continuity with Shin Godzilla, but it seems that's not the case. It appears that the movie is more of a follow-up or inspired by Shin Godzilla, which is like how Fallen Kingdom was inspired by The Lost World, and Indiana Jones was inspired by old serials in the 30s and 40s. So, we shouldn't expect a direct continuation. But, what do we officially know about Godzilla Minus One? Well, it's a new movie written and directed by Takeshita Yamazaki, and the plot revolves around a post-war Japan that's already devastated, now facing a new threat in the form of Godzilla. The movie deals with the aftermath of the atomic bomb dropped during World War II, and how, during Japan's rebuild, the King of Monsters resurfaces. It seems to be aiming for a remake or a revisit of the 1954 original, but in a contemporary way, similar to what Shin Godzilla did. Yamazaki has spoken about the film, stating that it depicts a Japan that has lost everything, and the movie portrays an existence filled with unprecedented despair. The title, Godzilla Minus One, was chosen to reflect this atmosphere, where Godzilla represents fear itself, walking back towards the characters, and despair keeps piling up. The director seems to be striving to create the most terrifying incarnation of Godzilla yet. It's meant to be an experience, not just a movie to watch in the theater. From what can be seen in the trailer, Godzilla Minus One takes place in the immediate post-war Japan, specifically around 1945 and 1946, during the American occupation. This aligns well with the experimental approach seen in the Reiwa era of Godzilla movies, where filmmakers explore the meaning and essence of Godzilla. What's exciting about this film is its departure from the generic approach often seen in Hollywood's giant monster movies. Yamazaki has a history of making impressive history-related films, and his interest in Japanese World War II history definitely shines through in his works. From the first shot of the trailer, we hear Godzilla's iconic footsteps as he emerges from the ground. The ensuing destruction is massive, with buildings reduced to rubble and smoke from recent fires still lingering in the air. We see rescue crews searching rubble for survivors, reminiscent of the real missions after the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The trailer gives us a close-up view of the destruction and the terror on people's faces as they try to escape the carnage. Godzilla's size is overwhelming as he crushes buildings and sends train carriages flying. The visuals are reminiscent of the 2014 Godzilla film, but with a more intense and intimate feel. Godzilla is portrayed as a terrifying force, and the trailer captures the horror and panic of the situation perfectly. This time around, Godzilla's design is a blend of various elements, giving it a distinctive appearance. It captures the essence of the Heisei era of Godzilla, and the dragon-like fangs and the reddish-brown skin tone add a unique touch. There seems to be an interesting connection to the history of Godzilla, where older suits were described as having a reddish-brown color before the transition to charcoal gray in the later films. The design also pays homage to the Shin Godzilla era, with some recognizable features. While I find the design impressive, the placement and appearance of the spikes on its back does seem to be skewed. But obviously, there must be some reason the design team chose to do it that way. It seems that Yamazaki's involvement in graphic design has contributed to crafting a visually appealing and captivating Godzilla. The design's evolution from previous films and video games adds depth to the character, and I can't wait to see it in action on the big screen. As the trailer showcased, the design is a perfect blend of Heisei and Shin Godzilla elements. The filmmakers seem to have taken the best features from various eras to create a visually appealing and unique incarnation of the legendary kaiju. This design is probably one of the best I've seen in recent years. In the teaser, we can see Godzilla's left leg beside a 3-story building, with each story being around 3 meters tall. We estimate that Godzilla's bent knee is at times 10 meters from the ground. Next, we get a clear view of his head as he's about to bite a train. Comparing the train car to his mouth, we estimate his head to be around 9 meters in size. Using the evidence from the footage, we take the measurements and compare different parts of his body to get a rough estimate. We estimate his full height to be around 60 meters tall. Comparing Godzilla Minus One to other versions, we find that he is half the size of the MonsterVerse Godzilla, but about the same height as Shin Godzilla. The filmmakers really seem to be returning to the source material for this one. There also seems to be a lot of speculation about the teaser trailer and the deliberate secrecy surrounding the movie's plot. People on Reddit mention how the trailer was well made and designed to keep certain details hidden. And with this, internet detectives have come to the conclusion that there might actually be more than one Godzilla in the movie. It is a concept from the original Rodan movie, featuring 2 Rodans. They consider that Toho might try to explore a similar concept with Godzillas, having 2 adult Godzillas appear in the same movie, which might very well be possible. However, these discussions are purely fan theories. The film will have a theatrical release in the United States on December 1st, and then we can know for sure. But hey, if you want to stay updated on all things Godzilla, subscribe to KRTV. And as always, thanks for watching.